What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Chris Moore, and in today's video we got a 2024 GSXR 750 in 100% stock form, but only for right now. Okay, we're about to take this thing, install a full titanium M4 exhaust. Basically, in my opinion, one of the best exhaust systems you can get for this GSXR. This thing is gonna, for one, sound 1,000,000 times better, and two, gonna make way more horsepower. You really gotta open these things up to make a 750, I guess you would say, breathe. Once you do that, this is one of the best bikes you can get to go have fun on, whether it be just riding on the street or taking it to the racetrack. These things are awesome, but from the factory, entirely too quiet and very, very choked up. We're gonna fix all that today, guys. Stay with us. Here we go. All right, guys, let's fire this thing up, see what it sounds like. We've actually got two of them in here right now, identical, just alike. We're gonna crank this thing up, see what it sounds like. Here we go. I mean, who buys a new bike and says, dude, you ain't gonna believe it, check out my new bike, it sounds just like a Dyson vacuum cleaner? Really? Come on now. That is not what we want when we think of a cool bike. Anyways, we're gonna get it in here, transform this thing. We're gonna, not only are we gonna add horsepower, add sound, we are also going to lose a lot of weight. This big giant muffler box under here, slash cat, crazy heavy, all that stuff coming off and going right in the trash can here shortly. While they're installing the exhaust on the 750, check out our giveaway. It's almost complete, guys. There's about 2 weeks left. You still got time to get in. Check out the new modifications we just did to this thing. We just put a brand new AIM dash on this thing. A lot of people complain about the GSXR dash. Says it looks a little dated. Well, not anymore. Check this thing out now. Full color display. It looks 1,000,000 times better than the stock setup. But overall, this thing looks insanely sick. Cormoto lightweight wheels. DME extended swing arm. This bike is stretched approximately 4 inches. A Kropovich full titanium evolution exhaust system. Brock's Performance lowering kit. You name it, this puppy has got it. Carbon Smith velocity stacks, Sprint air filter, literally everything you can need. The bike made 194 horsepower. The winner gets to choose between that or this Can-Am X3 Turbo RR side by side. This thing is insane. 200 horsepower. Got the mirrors, the windshield, the whole 9 yards. 100% ready to go. Which one would you pick? As you can see, guys, she's pretty much butt naked. So it's a lot of work goes into putting a full exhaust system on one of these bikes. Literally, radiator has to be dropped down or come off, and then the headers go on. So the factory exhaust system you can see here, this is also can be used as a boat anchor. If you guys have a boat, you can tie this to the front of it, throw it off in the lake. This will dig into the ground, and there you go. You've got a practical use for your trash exhaust system. So this thing, once we get it back together, is gonna sound absolutely insane. Not to mention that, you see how Tucker's handling those headers? Literally just, they weigh nothing. So super, super lightweight titanium full system. That system is gonna turn blue, look super nice. We'll show you the color change process. Here we go, guys, we're ready for the baseline pull. We're gonna see what kind of power this thing makes with no modifications done to the ECU. Remember, we just spent a lot of money adding the exhaust system and adding the air filter. Let's see what we get versus when we spend the money for the exhaust, the air filter, and the ECU flash. mishap on the camera, but we're still alive. 128 horsepower, 55 foot-pounds of torque. Really good results, but take a look at our air-fuel ratio. We want to be around this dotted line right there, and you can see anything above that dotted line is not getting enough fuel. You can see right here between about 3,000 to 6,000 RPMs, the thing goes crazy lean, and a result of that, we got a big power dip right there. We're gonna fix all that. We're gonna make a lot more power with this thing. You can also see how it goes up and then it kind of just flatlines. We'll fix that once we get rid of those pesky throttle restrictions. All right guys, ECU has been flashed. In just a second, after I show you the results, we'll get into what restrictions we removed and what we changed on the ECU. No matter what kind of modifications you have done to your 750 or even your bike in general, the ECU Flash helps no matter what. There's throttle limitations. There's a lot of stuff limiting in there that are holding the bike back regardless of the modifications you got. And like I said, I'm gonna show you that in a second, but let's run this thing and see what kind of gain we got now with our ECU Flash. Just like that, guys, with fixing the fueling, flashing the ECU, we have not made any adjustments on the dyno yet. This is just a basic flash. Look at how much better our air-fuel ratio looks. Literally night and day. You can see all that dip and gap, all that's fixed and gone. And then you can see the horsepower gains just keep on climbing all the way throughout. We went from 128 to 133. Not to mention how much smoother the bike is gonna ride just cruising around town. We had to add a good bit of fuel to this thing, especially between 3,000 to 5,000 RPMs. When you take that catalytic converter off, you already know yourself, there's a big dead spot there. Like you're giving it gas, it don't go, then boom, it kicks in and takes off. We fix all that. I'm gonna show you how here in just a second. All right guys, here we go. Let's get into the ECU on this thing and show you why we're able to pick up so much power with just a simple ECU flash. Woolwich Racing is the program we use. They are pretty much the biggest, I guess you say, in the industry as far as ECU flashing software for these motorcycles. They sell the products if you wanted to buy them for yourself, do your own tuning, do your own playing. If you're that guy, cool, go to Woolwich Racing's website, open up the program or their website and take a look at what they have to offer. They have all kind of stuff for all kind of bikes. But let's go in here to our bike, GSXR 750 2011, and then select our part number, which there's a sticker on the ECU that shows you your part number. But let's go in here to the other maps, okay? And then you can see we got secondary throttle plates. So there's two sets of throttle plates on the bike. One set works off your hand, of course. The other set works off the computer, all right? So we're gonna go in and we're gonna put the bike in 5th gear, which is where we're dynoing it at. Some people dyno them in fourth, some people dyno them in fifth, whatever. The throttle tables are the same, so no matter where you want to dyno it, you're gonna get the same results. So you can see here at 9,200 RPMs, the throttle plates finally open up to 94.5%. That's what the computer calls 100. So when you go wide open, look, 6,000 RPMs, 51%, 6,400 RPMs, 53%, and so on. It tapers up. So we open those up much, much sooner, but take a look at this. When we get back to 12,400 RPMs, we're going back to 90, then 82, then at 13,000 RPMs, we're at 78% throttle, even though your hand is wide open. So just imagine you're racing your buddy. Says no man ever. You never let off the gas if you're side by side. Well, your computer is. So anyways, you gotta get that fixed, guys. We fix all that with the ECU Flash, not to mention that, able to disable multiple things in the bike. The biggest thing is disable D-cell fuel cut. Okay, so whenever you're riding, you let off the gas from the factory, boom, the fuel injector is cut completely off. The bike nosedives, we got a lot of engine braking. Well, we fix all that, smooth all that out, get rid of the D-cell fuel cut. We also go in and lower the fan temps, okay? We set those to like this in Celsius there. But we go in and set them at like 195 degrees Fahrenheit, so the bike runs much cooler. Then we're able to go in and adjust ignition maps, fuel maps, you name it. We can do it all in this ECU. Hit us up, moremafia.com. I'm gonna finish this thing up. I'm gonna show you guys the ultimate pops and bangs option too. This customer has got that. You heard a little bit of pop to start with, but I've got it dialed into the max now. Take a listen at the way this thing sounds. Now, we'll do some talking here before we crank the bike up, because you're not gonna be able to hear me that good. You're gonna see I'll be going, I'll let off the throttle, brrr, slows down, right? I go, I let off the throttle, I give it back about 1% throttle, and that's when you're gonna hear the snap, crackle, pop dragon come out. Take a look here in just a second. Alright guys, all the adjusting and tuning is finished. We ended up with 135.9. We made 136 one time, but overall really good gains everywhere on this thing. Our orange is the beginning, the red here, red, is the starting. You can see here at 4,000 RPMs, we got really big gains. We went from 28 horsepower to 34 horsepower. That's something you're gonna feel every time you take off from a red light. So overall, picked up a lot of power. Hit us up, moremafia.com. If you get in right now, you can get your ECU Flash, moremafia.com, and you got about 2 weeks left, and that gets you entered into the GSXR 1000 or Can-Am side-by-side giveaway. Remember I showed you those earlier? All you gotta do, purchase the ECU Flash. Same thing you wanna do for your bike no matter what, but hey, maybe this time you win a GSXR 1000 or Can-Am side-by-side. Check us out, moremafia.com. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We do stuff like this all the time. We appreciate you watching, guys. Thanks for smashing that like button, hitting the bell for the notifications, for doing all the stuff you do. I love you guys. So thanks for watching. I already told you that. See you next time.